Bringing back Junior Boy's Own on digital, I think was quite important, really. You know, we was always a vinyl label, and we was always really into the whole vinyl culture. So none of this stuff ever got put up really digitally, and I think the history of house music, especially in England, is kind of blurred nowadays. You know, you have all sorts of people claiming to have, you know, been there at the beginning, been there, started this, started that scene, started this, you know, and I think this might help kind of redress the story a little bit. I think the relevance of Boy's Own to today's audience, the younger kids who weren't around in that time, is quite important. You know, nowadays DJs and producers make records to get gigs. You know, no two ways about it. They do a promotion, and record labels do singles to promote albums. Back when these records were being made, they were being made to sell. You know, and people were looking at selling and making a living out of singles, so that, you know, people would have spent 2 weeks in a decent studio, you know, and these records would have been played for months and months on promo, and their quality, you know, it's a quality of music that, sad to say, maybe isn't there for whatever reason nowadays. Music is a little bit more disposable and a little bit more off the cuff. And these records have lasted, so, you know, kids should buy it, they should listen to what was going on then, and it gives them a nod to where we are today, really.
If you're interested in, you know, dance music and the history of it over the years, you know, the label was very important in, you know, certain periods of dance music. It was definitely a bridge from the days of, let's say, disco and rare groove into what's become, like, you know, the house nation. We were part of the generation of people that created sort of modern dance culture, and I think the records, you know, stand up and represent that period of time.
Yeah, I think, you know, like we said with the early Black Science stuff, and Frankie Knuckles gave his approval to that music, and to the records me and Pete was made, which was very important. Junior Vasquez adopted basically our next generation of artists, you know, and especially Express 2. You know, a lot of people were coming back from New York. The Winter Music Conference was actually held in New York in those days. And it wasn't in the winter either, it was in the summer. But people would go, all the artists and all the labels would go over there, and they would come back saying, you know, how many times Junior played, you know, Raise Your Hands, then he mixed it into, you know, Music Express.
Some of your records,
Roach Motel, and also a lot of our remixes he was playing, yeah, especially the Happy Mondays, Stinky Thinking. So, you know, once again, Junior Vasquez validated what we was doing at home, which was very important to us, because, you know, British people are very cynical about their own stuff. They always think that whatever's over there is better. You know, and that's why we're always looking for the next thing in England. You know, it's always the next thing, whether it's, you know, minimal, whether it's tech house, dubstep, whatever bass line, you know, we're always looking for the next thing, rather than actually thinking, well, you know what we've got is really good. And I think people, American DJs like Junior, like Dave Morales, like Vasquez, Frankie Knuckles, to have them validate what you're doing was very important at the time.
Yeah, our reputation was big in America, and, you know, Terry and Pete were considered by New York producers as, you know, the British masters at work, which was something
no, don't say that. We had a big fight over that.
Which is something that nobody would say here. Nobody would say it. But when the Americans, you know, Humphreys and all those people started coming over and playing the records and making them big tunes in New York, you know, it was true. You know, it was true. What we're doing with Defected at the moment, digitalising the back catalogue, is focusing in on some of the sort of houseier acts, you know, Terry and Pete's material, Black Science Orchestra, Express 2, people like Quentin
Glover, Crispin Glover.
And what we're trying to do is pick up remixes from, you know, people like Marlon D and some of the cooler, younger, underground US house people. Also, we're looking to work with some of the new European producers, some of the Romanians, some of our friends from the German techno minimal scene. We are looking to sign some new tracks, but first of all we want to actually get the label up and going and just show that we're back out there and looking to do good, new, quality music.
I think, you know, whatever happens, you know, our ethos that we had, you know, 10 years ago will be exactly the same. So we'll only release records we like personally. We'll only release records from people we like personally, and who we're happy to work for, we're happy to work with, you know. And I think from my point of view, only records that I want to play as a DJ. You know, I can't think of anything worse, you know, actually signing a record to your label that you wouldn't play as a DJ, just to make a few bucks. You know, that's not how we've done things then, and that's not how we're doing things now.
It's sort of, it's not a business for us anymore. We've both been working in the, you know, music business for plenty of years now, and have other lines of work that we pursue. This is something that we're doing because we still feel something for dance music and house music culture that's out there, and we want to be part of it, really.
As for doing some more Junior Boys Own parties, I'm not sure really. We just have to see how things go. I mean, most of the old school crew who are still out there go to Faith anyway, which is a kind of continuation from my point of view of where we left off with the fanzine. There's a fanzine called Faith and a website, Faith Fanzine, www.com. You can go on there, and there's a lot of, you know, a lot of the guys who used to go out back in the day, and then a lot of younger kids who missed it, who still like that kind of edgy acid house vibe, you know. They go to them parties, so we'll see what happens. You know, we're going to get the music back out there, then we're going to get the, you know, the name back out there. Dave Little, who was the original designer of the Junior Boys Own t-shirt that kind of, along with the smiley thing, signified acid house, certainly to a lot of people in London. He's redesigning a new t-shirt, which hopefully Stussy, our friends at Stussy, we've worked with them quite a lot, are going to do the t-shirt. So we'll see, you know, music, t-shirt, parties, they do kind of go along, but we'll take it step by step, you know. We want to make sure everything's right, rather than rush everything and get it wrong.
In conjunction with the digital downloads that we're about to release, we're going to be doing a series of mix CDs highlighting some of the tracks from the catalogue. It's something that Terry and I put together with all the modern technology that you can use now, making DJing idiot proof.
Yeah, basically someone showed us how to use Ableton.
The tracks from the mix CD are sometimes not some of the most famous ones we've had. They're tracks that we've actually always enjoyed, or remixes of tracks that we've been into over the years.
I think they're our favourites, especially the first one, aren't they?
Yeah.
What we really like.
Our favourites. All these tracks are going to be available on download individually as bundles, and also there'll be a mixed and unmixed version of the CD as well for sale.